ना मैं बैठ के ना बुले औकात मारी गाड़ियां के पीछे हरियाणा मारी जात।
ਸੋ ਗਾਇਸ ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਚਾਲ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਫੁੱਲੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਵਧਾਂ ਕਰਨ ਔਜਲੇ ਦਾ ਫਿਲਮ ਕੰਪੈਨੀਅਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਤਗੜਾ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਆਇਆ ਜਿਸ 'ਚ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਬਹੁਤ ਤਗੜੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਬਾਈ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਅਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਛ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕੁਛ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਆ ਜਾਓ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਪਾਰਟ 2 ਬਣ ਜਾਣ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ 30 ਮਿੰਟ ਦਾ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਕੈਮਰਾ 29 ਮਿੰਟ ਹੀ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਕੁਛ 5-6 ਮਿੰਟ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਪਾਰਟ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰੀ।
If I be honest with you, I don't even feel like coming to India, but it's my motherland. Me and my wife, we've been together for almost 10 years now. The bachche the tabhi jab mile. Before Sidhu passed away, I talked to him on the phone.
ਇਹ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਯਾਰ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਓਕੇ।
Karan, it's so lovely to have you on Film Companion. Hello.
Steak ਦੀ promotion ਕਰਨੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਟਦਾ ਬਤੰਦਰ।
Hello from a freezing Los Angeles, but I'm sure you're colder than in Vancouver than I am.
It's actually snowing on my side. But thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I've been, as I told you, like I thought it would happen, but I didn't know it would happen this soon. But I'm so grateful to be here and talking to you.
Karan, pehle to बहुत mubarak, shadi mubarak. What have the first few weeks of marriage been like?
It's actually literally been a week. To be honest, it's amazing. Like I cannot describe the feeling because me and my wife we've been together for almost 10 years now. The bachche the tabhi jab mile and so abhi supna
Karan abhi bhi bachche ho.
But yeah, just got married like after 10 years. You know how it is. It just feels so good to just be right by each other and waking up right next to each other, and it just all the dreams are coming true. I'm just really grateful. It feels amazing in full form. Yeah.
Motivational.
Karan, such an incredible journey. You started writing when you were 13 or 14 years old. Do you remember where the love for writing and the love for music began?
To be honest, yeah. When I was actually 13 or 14, मैं ना जब पंजाब में था, if most of the people know, but for the people that don't know, I come from a village named Kurala. So मेरा जन्म पंजाब में ही हुआ था, and वहीं पे पला. And then when I was maybe 9 years old, a lot of stuff happened in my life. I lost my parents, and then उसके बाद जब कोई नहीं था बात करने के लिए, so that's when I just started putting it down on the paper because मेरे को ऐसे लगता था कि अगर मैं किसी से बात करूंगा तो वो सोचेगा कि ये क्या बोल रहा है, like what is he saying? But it was just like, and to be honest, it was just the माहौल around me and वो सब चीजें मिलाकर just so मेरा just वहीं पे ध्यान गया कि pen and paper and that's it, you just gotta put it down and basically explain your feelings. But पहले तो एक तो गाने मैंने सैड लिखे और मैंने सोचा कि ओके सही है लिख लेता हूँ, पर then I thought of it, I'm like what if I sell these songs to somebody, make some money and so I would message a lot of producers from my area, like I was a kid, पर उससे किसी प्रोड्यूसर से मुलाकात हो गई और उसे मैंने वैसे ही गाना सेंड किया, मेलोडी सेंड की और पसंद आ गया किसी को, एंड देन लॉन्ग स्टोरी शॉर्ट मैंने 2-3 गाने दे दिए, पर वो आए थे जब मैं कनाडा आया था तब वो रिलीज हुए थे. बट आई गिव माय सॉन्ग्स अवे व्हेन आई वाज बेसिकली 15 years old. Yeah.
I was looking at your songs. I was sort of reading up on the Punjabi music industry, and it's arguably the biggest non-film music industry in the country, and you're of course one of its biggest stars. You're called Geeta the Machine, but I don't think any artist is a machine. I want to understand, Karan, your process. When do you write? When do you create music? मतलब रोज रियाज होता है? Where does inspiration come from? How do you work?
रियाज तो नहीं होता कभी भी पर लाइक मेरा पहले मकसद गाने का नहीं था, जस्ट लिखना ही था. सो लिखना कैसे स्टार्ट किया वो वैसे ही, पर अब जब लिखता हूँ पहले तो शुरू था कि कभी कुछ हो गया किसी यार दोस्त की गाने सुन ली उस पे लिख दिया ये वो, बट व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड सिटिंग डाउन इन द स्टूडियोज with professional people, I started meeting more people. तब मैंने basically beats पे लिखना जैसे फ्री स्टाइल होता है वैसे लिखने की प्रैक्टिस की। लाइक दिन में 3 4 5 गाने लिख देता था। जरूरी नहीं था कि वो सभी अच्छे हों, पर लिख देता था मैं। I would just keep writing, like why not? And then it started becoming a business for me because I started getting paid for what I was writing for people. At first, nobody really gave me money, but I was more worried about my name. कि मेरा बस नाम डाल दो गाने में, मेरे को और कुछ नहीं चाहिए। Like मेरा नाम, मेरी नेम टैगलाइन होती थी करण कराले वाला, like it's my village and me, right? And मेरे को बस वही होता था कि मेरे जो यार दोस्त हैं बैक होम वो सुने मेरा नाम इस गाने में और इस सिंगर ने गाए, और that's it. पर slowly slowly मेरे को समझ आया कि पैसे भी जरूरी हैं भाई, especially when you're by yourself. At one point, when I decided to keep all the songs for myself, which was like 2.5 years ago, so तब process मेरा बहुत change हुआ लिखने का, because तब मैं सिर्फ अपने लिए लिख रहा था. Like I was just writing for myself when I was there. So every time now I sit in the studio, I know I don't have to write this for anybody, because even back then, to be honest,
ਜੋ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਮਾੜਾ ਲੱਗੇ, ਉਹ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਹੈ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਕਲੈਰੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਜਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਉਹ ਲੈਣ ਦੀ ਟਿਕ ਮਾਰਕ ਲੈਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿ ਆ ਤੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਮੇਰੀ ਪਸੰਦ ਆ, ਮੈਂ ਗਾਊਂਗਾ, ਮੇਰਾ ਲਿਖੀ ਹੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹੁਣ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ।
when you write for people, you want to give them the best, but you still keep something for you as a writer. So this process has become so technical, plus like that homemade remedies type of stuff. Like आप घर पे कुछ बना रहे हो, like you don't know what you're making, but you keep putting spices in it and let's see how it sounds. So it's just like that. It's really interesting. It's so hard to put it in words. I hope I make sense.
But Karan, it's not true that you kept all your best work for yourself, because you did give goat to Diljit Dosanjh, who's one of my favorite people.
Oh, yes.
How did that happen, Karan? And I'm curious, how do you decide कि मैं ये गाना दे दूंगा but ये नहीं दूंगा?
Yeah, so that song I wrote it for Diljit Paji, especially, like, and to be honest, it was one of my things. Like I wanted to work with him once, so वो मैंने दिल से किया, to be honest. And I did that song after I was a little, like, मेरा नाम थोड़ा सा हो गया था मेरे country में, पंजाब में, और
ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਚੱਕਰ ਕੀ, ਜਦੋਂ ਗੋਟ ਆਇਆ ਨਾ, ਗੋਟ ਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਾਣਾ ਸੁਣ ਲਓ, ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਟਸ ਆਲ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਦਿਲਜੀਤ। ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਕੁਛ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੋ ਕਰਨ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੋਵੇ।
उसके बाद तो मेरे को वो वरी नहीं थी, पर मेरा दिल से प्यार है उससे। He's such an amazing person. So and he told me, we got on the phone, that he needed a song for the album and it has to be about his story. So मैंने ट्राई किया था कि सिंपल रखूं पर उनके बारे में बताऊं, and it just honestly it happened in 10 minutes literally. उन्होंने मेरे को बीट सेंड की, and I just made a melody, send them 2 verses, and they loved it. And Paji said, "Go for it," and I completed the song the same day. It was so fast because it came from heart, right? Like it just happened.
ਵਾਈਬ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ
So now, Karan, you wouldn't normally work for someone else. I mean, of course, with Diljit, it's a different thing because you love him and you wanted to do this. But now you won't be selling your lyrics to anyone. You do your own music.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just I enjoy that. I enjoy it more that way because it's just because likhna is my passion, and honestly, it's like a part of me that I'm giving away. So I don't feel like doing that anymore because I don't have a need to do that anymore. Yeah. Back then I did.
ਉਦੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਪੈਸਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੀ, ਹੁਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੋੜ, ਹੁਣ ਜੇ ਚੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ।
Yeah. So, Karan,
ਦੋ ਹੀ ਮੋੜ ਨੇ, ਚੱਲ ਮੁੜਿਆ ਬਿਲਬੋਰਡ ਪੇ।
that's what I'm very intrigued by. Okay, so there is one Karan who I see in the videos, who's this very tough sort of persona, and there's all those expensive cars and there's beautiful women, sometimes they're guns, there's lots of animals, python and whales and all these things happening. But then I also see your interview that you did with Taranum, and you actually at one point got very emotional and you were tearing up, you were crying, and that's not at all the image that fits in with that tough guy who we see in the video. So who is the real Karan Aujla?
ਮੈਮ ਕਿੱਕ ਵਾਲਾ ਲਾਈਵ ਦੇਖੋ, ਕਿੱਕ ਵਾਲਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ kick.com ਵਾਲਾ ਲਾਈਵ ਸੀ ਨਾ, ਉਹ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਰੀਅਲ ਕਰਨ ਔਜਲਾ। ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਬਾਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਫਿਸਟੀਕੇਟਡ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਬੈਠਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਸੀਗਾ ਅਸਲੀ ਕਰਨ ਔਜਲਾ।
The real Karan Aujla is actually the one in that interview and this interview. It's just a portrait that you gotta put up in the songs, and it ends up working out for you. And to be honest, बहुत लोग ये नहीं जानते कि असली आर्टिस्ट क्या है, like उनकी इमेज क्या है. Like I can't be myself in every song.
Yeah.
Like real me, I can't portray that in every song because it's not gonna end up working out. But people take it too serious. Like ये बंदा तो ऐसा ही है, ये फुकरा है, ये वो. But the thing is, nobody knows your real story unless you tell them. And even when you tell them, they have so many questions. Like, okay, this and that. But I cried in
ਇਹ ਸਾਲਾ ਫੇਮ ਭਾਲਦਾ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਫਿਰ।
2-3 interviews because it still gives me goosebumps because it was such a hard time. Anupamji, like it was so much as those flashbacks come in front of my face every time I talk about it, even right now, because I have that picture memory. To be honest, every time I talk about it, I don't know what to say, and it's just been a hard time, but I'm grateful for where I'm at today. You know. Yeah, that is real Karan Aujla.
No, because to lose your parents at such a young age, I mean, that's sort of an unimaginable kind of tragedy. Karan, how do you think it shaped you as an artist to experience something that difficult at such a young age?
I feel like even as an artist and as a human, it shaped me in a great way. I feel like I would be doing a lot more worse things if I didn't go through that. That's what I feel like. Maybe I could be wrong. Like maybe I wouldn't be this responsible and this lovely. Like I have so much love for people that are around me, and I am all about love because I didn't get enough of it.
ਜਿਹਨੇ ਗਵਾਇਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਪਿਆਰ ਵੰਡਣਾ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਦਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ.
You could say it in that way. And it's just, I feel like giving it to so many people that need it. And when I think of that, Karan, back in the days, 10, 11, 12 years old, and the stuff I was going through, it still tears up my eyes because it was so much. I was like, how did I do that? Maybe it was something, the power that my parents gave me. I don't know what it was. I would believe anything till this day because I don't know if that happened to me today. I don't know if I'll be able to deal with it or go through it, you know. But being an 11, 12-year-old kid and going through all that stuff, I'm not saying I was the only one, but I've been through some hard situations where I knew my mom won't be here in 9 months and I'm just sitting there looking at her face, like stuff like that. That just shaped me in such a great way. I wouldn't say like I'm grateful for this, but like, to be honest, everything happens for a reason. That's how I take it.
That's true.
So, Karan, I want to talk a little bit about the music, right? And of course, I'm not a Punjabi speaker. I'm getting thodi si snatches here, thoda sa understanding there. But you know, I look at the visuals, and of course, I've read up on a lot of sort of opinions of some of your music being problematic, right? Like Chitta Kurta, which has, you know, somewhat, I'm looking at the numbers here, 270 million views on YouTube, or Gangsta, which is about guns and violence, Adiya, which has 150 million views, shows you drinking straight out of a bottle. Now, you are at a point, Karan, where you are a role model, right? Where people, including Shehnaz Gill, have your face tattooed on their bodies, right?
ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਸ਼ਰਮਾ ਹੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ
As
ਤੈਨੂੰ ਟੈਟੂ ਦੱਸ ਕੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਟੈਟੂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਨੂੰ.
as you mature as an artist, Karan, as your voice as an artist matures, do you see this changing? Do you introspect about whether this is the right messaging to put out there anymore?
To be honest, when I look back at those songs, I'm like, okay, this was a little too much. I should have done it. I want to do that. But on the other side, I have done songs like It's Okay God, Facts. If you compare those views, they're nowhere near this.
True.
The songs that gave me opportunity to feed my family, like all that stuff, you know, put up with my stuff. was all the songs that you named. Like where I'm at today, if I'm sitting in this house, is that song that basically bought me this house maybe and got me all these shows, and people sing along to those songs like crazy when I go to shows. You actually don't think like I'm gonna write a crazy song like to show people I'm this and that. You just go with the flow kinda, and you just pick up a topic and do it. But now when I look back at it, like when people call me like, Baji, we want to be like you know, whatever you've been through, we've been through that too. So we look up to you. And that's when I think like, okay, maybe they need something else to hear that will maybe change their perspective of looking at life or doing things. And so that's why I try to, honestly, I try to keep that balance now. Like where if I'm writing a song about a girl in it, or maybe liquor in it, or whatever in it, I still give some sort of a message. But yeah, sometimes it happens and the song works out, then I just stay quiet. Like, sorry, but not sorry, you know.
You know, the truth is, Karan, with Punjabi music, there's been such a long history of violence, right? From Amar Singh Chamkila to Sidhu Moosewala, right? And you've yourself been the target of gang warfare and gang violence. So, do you think that artists like yourself have a responsibility to try and stem it, because you have a large voice, because there are, like you said, thousands of people around the world listening to you? Is Do you think like what you show, what artists show in videos, can also be a reason why there is such a long history? Is there a connection? Do you see that?
To be honest, this is a really hard one because I try to judge all this. Like I've been through, I've been in the situation for 4.5, 5 years where I've been tried to, you know, extort, and you know, my house getting shot at, and most of the people don't know my house probably got shot at 5 times. Like it's in the Canadian. Like I did reports everywhere, but I don't talk about it too much because I don't want to look back at it. But whatever happened, I feel like yeah, it's
ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਭਾਈ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਸਮਝੋ ਕਿ ਹੱਸਦਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਹੱਸਦਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ.
my mistakes too, because I, you know, tried to maybe portray myself like that, like I'm one of the tough ones, but maybe I was, because everybody, but at the other page, I look at it like everybody else is doing it too, so why just me? And then whatever Sidhu went through, his family went through, I can't even explain you how that made me feel, because I was like, okay, getting your house shot at, you're still alive, but now this has crossed everything. Like this
Every limit, सारी लिमिटां क्रॉस हो
is
जाती है.
becoming a deal, so you gotta, you know, basically think about what you do. If I be honest with you, I don't even feel like coming to India, boss, my motherland. I want to see my house, because nobody knows what's happening behind the scenes. There's so much stuff.
ਕਿੱਡੀ ਬੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਗਿਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਉਣ ਨੂੰ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਾਈ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਿਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਪਲਾਨ
And
ਬਣਦਾ.
sometimes you want to talk about issues. Sometimes why didn't I talk about this in any other interview? Like this happened to me, that happened to me, never went live, because there's so many people and so much stuff happening behind the scenes that your voice will get shut down. You'll ask for more problems basically if you speak about it.
Yes.
So I don't want to, you know, lose anybody in my life anymore, and don't want to put myself in that situation. So I just try to stay away from all that stuff, because it's such a hard times when all that stuff is happening to you, and for no reason, just because you're singing and somebody wants you to do a show there and the other person don't want you to do a show there. So where do you go? Like it's such a hard situation, and it had a big impact on our shows and stuff too, because sometimes, like in India, I could have been in India this time doing my shows on all these events, all that stuff. Why am I sitting at home? Because I don't want to be in that situation. And honestly, I don't know who to ask for help. I'll be honest with you.
Who to ask for help? हाँ सही वाला, मैं मैंने ये भी नहीं पता मैं किन्हों कहाँ किन्हों नहीं कमा.
Because हमारे पंजाब में ना वो जो है ना कि हर एक बंदे में है, हमारी कौम है वो कि ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਰਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਘੈਂਟ ਆ, ਹੈਗੇ ਵੀ ਆ. So it's like me even being a Punjabi, a Jat, I just wanted to put it down. And every other Punjabi artist is like wanted to write it down. Like, this is how we are, like, we do this because that's our culture, honestly. But now it's turned it into a way where you don't want to talk about it because things are very worse. And yeah, it's changing me as an artist too, my sound and everything, the way I write. I don't want to include those words anymore into my songs because, you know, it's got too real.
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ
Yeah.
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ
You know-
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਇੱਕ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਫਨ ਸੀਗਾ, ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਸਾਲਾ ਨਾ ਸਿਰਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਫਨ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਸੀ, ਬਟ ਹੁਣ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਥੋੜਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਕੰਮ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਗਲਤ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ.
AP Dillon, after Sidhu's assassination, said that you have to deal, and I'm reading it exactly, being a Punjabi artist, you have to deal with constant judgment, hateful comments, threats, and negative energy. Would you agree? Is that how it is?
150%, I agree. There's constantly something happening in every artist's life, especially the ones that are top tiers.
Yeah.
Like, there's constantly something happening in their lives. People don't know about it. Like, even me being an artist, it hurts us sometimes when we read stuff about ourselves. And even after whatever happened to me, 2 years ago, like my house, all that stuff, and people are just making fun of it. Like, yeah, this was meant to happen. Like, are you serious? You know, the bullet just didn't hit us. That was the only thing we got lucky about. But it went through our houses, you know, and there was kids at houses.
Karan, in the middle of all of this, which is so, I mean, I can't even imagine how difficult it must be to handle this. How do you stay focused on the music?
So yeah, that's the thing. Just calm down. I don't think about it too much. I let it pass. Whatever happened, I take it as like it was meant to happen. I was meant to go through this. It's just that mindset. And I honestly don't like to look back because, not like I don't want to, but it just makes things so easy. Just staying present and just doing whatever you're doing. And that's the only thing that helps me. Just staying conscious and being present is the only thing. Just keep going. It's okay if it happened. Just keep going.
You know, but Karan, I know you said you don't want to look back, but
ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ, ਆਪਾਂ ਨਾ ਹੁਣ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਪਾਰਟ 'ਚ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ? 10 ਮਿੰਟ ਦੀ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਰਹਿ ਗਈ, ਜਸਟ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਪਾਰਟ 'ਚ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ? ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ.